My name is Yeshua Silva. I am the training coordinator for the Transportation and Heavy Equipment program. Today we're going to be talking about the CDL program, a career that takes you further. So what is a commercial driver's license? Well, you may know it as CDL. This license will allow an individual to drive or operate a larger commercial vehicle, such as a dump truck, school bus, or even a semi-truck. Many companies or professions require or prefer a driver with a CDL. Once you obtain your CDL, the opportunities are endless. You can dedicate yourself to being an over-the-road truck driver or choose another profession that requires you to have a CDL, such as driving a digger truck or a bucket truck, or even a firefighter driving a fire truck. According to Glassdoor, the average salary for a CDL holder is $66,000 a year. Although your salary will vary depending on the type of work you're doing. The opportunity of making more money is endless. The doors a CDL can open will lead you to a career of your choice. If you're looking for a full behind-the-wheel class with an opportunity to test at the end of the week, learning how to perform a vehicle inspection, basic controls such as parallel parking or over-the-road driving, HEP 715 will give you those skills. Looking for assistance for vehicle inspection part of the test? HEP 712 will give you the tools needed to start your CDL test with confidence. TEACS also offers several additional classes to help you reach the skills you need to earn your CDL. So why choose TEACS? Well, our experienced instructors will teach you the knowledge, skills, and proficiency needed to become a great CDL driver. Our facilities and airfield give an abundance of space to increase your confidence before driving on Texas roads. Our classes stay up to date on all federal and state requirements to earn your CDL. Thank you for listening to our presentation. Now you're going to see an example of a pre-trip vehicle inspection. So what we're doing now is a vehicle pre-trip inspection. What you want to do is you want to step back before you get into your vehicle. You take a good gradual look of your vehicle, and then you step in. So the first thing we're going to check is going to be our clearance lights up at the top. Our clearance lights are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose, and they are the proper color. Our mirrors are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Our windshield is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Along with our windshield wipers are properly mounted and secured, also not cracked, damaged, or loose. Moving down to our hood, and our hood is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Our headlights are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. And then within our headlights, we've got our high beam, our low beam, our turn signal, and our four-way flashers. Once we do that, we move down to our bumper. Our bumper is pretty much set, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Looking underneath your vehicle, you want to make sure that there's nothing leaking, no oil, diesel, coolant, typical things that you would normally see on a vehicle that's leaking. You want to lean back and step back from your vehicle, make sure it's not leaning to one side or the other to make sure that there's no problems with your suspension or your tires. Now we're going to open up our hood and you're going to check underneath our hood. On the driver's side, you want to first start with your motor and you want to talk about all your hoses. Your hoses are all properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or leaking because they do have fluid. Your air lines are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose, or leaking. Going back over here, we've got our air compressor. Our air compressor for our air tanks are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. It is also gear driven. Our oil dipstick is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. The way we check it is pull it out, wipe it clean, stick it back in, pull it back out, and make sure that it's between the add and fill line. Moving on over to our air compressor, that's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Going over to our power steering pump, that's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose, and it is gear driven. Now we move on to our power steering reservoir, and that's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. We want to make sure that it's at the fill level. You want to check the cap, make sure everything's on there and there is liquid in it. You want to check your drive shaft or your steering shaft. That's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose, and there's not a lot of play. You want to check your power steering box. That's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose, along with all your hoses and wires that are going to and from it. that are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or leaking. Going on to our 3-piece steering system, that's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Our cotter pin and castle nut are on there properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Moving on over to our leaf spring mounts. Our leaf spring mounts are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Our leaf springs are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Our U-bolts are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Our shock absorber is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Our air brake chamber is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose, or leaking, and there's no dents in the air brake chamber. Our push rod and our slack adjuster are both properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. And if I needed to pull on the slack adjuster and push rod, it shouldn't come out more than 1 inch. Our air lines are all properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose, or leaking. There is air flowing through it. Our brake drum and brake linings are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose, and that there is enough brake pad in there to make sure that we're driving on the road safely. The sidewall of our tires is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. So now we're going to check our tread depth, making sure that our tread depth is properly and evenly worn, that it has more than 4/32, that the sidewall of the tire is also properly mounted and secured, that there's no bubbles, no cuts, no slashes, typical things that you would see on a tire. Then you want to check your rim, making sure that your rim is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose, that there's no illegal welds or cracks in the rim, making sure all your lug nuts are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. If you do see any shiny silver or rust, it signifies that your lug nuts are loose. Next thing is going to be your hub oil seal. Cap is going to be properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, loose, or leaking because there is oil. You've got your valve stem that's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose, and the tire is filled to the manufacturer specifications. Here we're talking about our air lines and all our electrical system. For our coupling system, everything is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. The glad hands and the rubber seals in the glad hands are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. A way that I remember that they're glad hands is I remember and I shake my hands like if they're happy or glad, and that gives me a good reminder of what those are. Our electrical line is properly mounted. All our air lines, the emergency and the primary. The catwalk, there's nothing leaning or touching the catwalk. Then we talk about our fuel tank. Our fuel tank is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or leaking. There is no leaks underneath the fuel tank. Like we did, we checked the cap, making sure that that's properly mounted and that the rubber seal is in the cap. Now we're going in between the dual tires in the rear of the vehicle. You want to check your suspension system first. So you've got your leaf spring mounts, your leaf springs, and your U-bolts, just like you did in the front. All those are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Some vehicles have airbags. If the vehicle has airbags, make sure you check the airbags for any leaks, any audible leaks. So now that before you jump into the cab and before you take a seat and start your vehicle, you want to check for 3 safety items. You want to check for your 3 fuses, your fire extinguisher, and your 3 reflective triangles. And as you sit down, now you want to check your seatbelt, making sure that it's properly mounted and secured, making sure that there's no cuts, no abrasions or cuts on the seatbelt, making sure that it latches properly on and off, making sure that the mic is also working to be able to communicate back to base. Doing a radio check, 1, 2, 3 is very important before leaving en route. Thank you so much for watching our vehicle inspection video. Contact me, Yeshua Silva, for any more information. I look forward to seeing you in our next CDL class.